Yo, welcome back to New Perspective. This summer, it's Tony and I'm Jaheim. And y'all know what it is. We're gonna be talking about real life topics with an entertaining twist. Let's go. How do y'all feel about Donald Trump? Nah, that's not what I want to start this.
He was a horrible fucking president, but I fucked with him when he was giving out bread.
I missed him.
You know what? Let's talk about that. How do y'all really feel about Donald Trump?
Oh God, that's a cold ass.
Honestly, I haven't done no real research on this nigga, but I do know that they have botched the videos to make him seem like somebody he not. And I do know that he is a reality TV star and a businessman, so he may not say the best things, but like, he's old. Like, he lived with that, he grew up with that. And so did Biden. And then Biden raised his son to do that. And his son is racist. So it's like, how y'all gonna support one but not the other? And the other one is fucking us up more than the last one.
Biden, specifically. Let's name him. It's like, honestly, bro, to be so young and just now getting into politics, like, I feel like Trump's first year running for president, what was that, like 2016? That was the first year I ever looked at the TV and cared, other than Obama. You know, obviously we're black, we have to care. But pretty much. But Trump, I remember him getting in office, everybody like, oh, fuck that. Like, if he wins, I'm leaving the country. I'm going to Canada. It's over. He got in office, like, I feel like the racial tension in this country was at an all-time high. And I feel like, you know, it was always here. Racism in America has always been here. But after that, there wasn't really anything else. Racism is still going to be here, but it's not as televised as it was when he was in office.
Racism is more of a strong word.
Yeah.
Racism.
You don't think it was racism?
Like, a person can be racist.
Yeah.
But like, to say a whole entire country is like still backed off racism, like it still profits off of it, it doesn't.
No, it's not at this point. No, it profit at this point. Nah, not at all. At this point, it profits off the. It profits off the opposite. Like, we have to have inclusion at this point. Like, it's crazy as hell. It literally did a full flip. It's like they have to include everyone and everything. Diversity. Yeah, as fuck. Like,
breaking everybody's back to make their bag.
Yeah, they include everything. Like, diversity is now the biggest main thing. Like, it's an ongoing joke forever. At every university, every time they see a group of black people, they gotta take a picture of them and put them on the front of the brochure. Every brochure you see about colleges is black people. It might be a Middle Eastern.
There's black colleges. There's little grants that they're giving out, or not grants, but there's money that they're giving to people who are indigenous. Like, they'll give you money
for being
native.
It's like a minority.
It was a specific. It's like a specific
thing for them.
But it's crazy.
I mean, it makes sense.
Racism this, racism that, and I'm like, there's just particular people that don't like you, or were raised with people who were raised in that era where segregation was still at an all-time high. Y'all can't expect for it to just completely go away. And even if it does, if they don't like your skin color, next thing they're not gonna like is your hair or your eyes, the way you walk, the way you talk. It's always gonna be something that somebody don't like. For y'all to call it racism is a bigger aspect, not just two people who just did something to you.
Racism would, because then that would just be you encountering a couple of racist people.
Yeah. I mean, that encounter, like, involves racism. I don't think racism needs to be a large scale. That's why I say racism still exists. But that's why I was like talking about it with Trump. It's like he said a lot of crazy shit, and all I feel like he definitely said a lot of crazy shit. Like, to include certain things, like saying
he persuaded a lot of people to do a lot of crazy shit as well.
I don't think he did that.
No,
I don't think he.
The Ku Klux Klan stuff, and I was so confused.
I don't think he persuaded anybody. I think, like you said, a lot of things will be taken out of context. A lot of things will be clips of just one part of a big thing of what he said. But just a lot of shit is a little crazy. Like calling people aliens, saying that, you know, the people
they
come.
Are illegal.
I understand,
aliens.
but you gotta understand.
That's the term.
But I'm on your side. Let me finish. Let me get it off. But you got to understand when it's like certain words have a negative connotation, and not everybody is going to take it the.
No, because even that, people think ignorant is associated with black people because it's been used on black people.
A lot.
But I'm like, when I say ignorant, I mean, you're just not fully smart in that topic.
Yeah.
You're ignorant in a particular area. I know I'm ignorant.
I've never heard somebody call somebody that's not black ignorant, and they felt like they were calling them like a type of black. I feel like that just genuinely,
Black people take that word personally.
Yeah.
Like, I've even heard my Caucasian father speak to another Caucasian man when he didn't know something. He said, "Excuse my ignorance, but what is this?" Like, it's just a word.
Yeah.
You use it in the dictionary. Now, I could see if somebody called you incompetent, which means you're incapable of learning something, which pretty much them calling you stupid, that's a negative word in itself, period. Or if you're trying to give somebody, like autistic people per se, just for an example, if you're like a doctor and you're trying to diagnose them with something, like, oh, they're incompetent, they're not going to be able to learn this and that, whatever, you know? But that's more in a professional setting. Somebody walk up to me and call me incompetent, it's up. Ignorant, though, is not a bad word. It's just, you just don't know something.
I think they both just big ass words to say you dumb or stupid or dumb.
It's not ignorant. You can.
I think that's all it is.
You can use any word to make somebody feel dumb.
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to make somebody feel dumb like you or him, I just figure out words that y'all didn't know and say them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't know that word? Like, I don't even have to say nothing. That's in itself. So people just take that word and apply it to themselves, and it's like you're just ruining the word. But then when it comes to the word nigga, y'all want to glorify it.
Let's get to that.
Because ignorant didn't start off just for black people.
Yeah.
It was a word in the dictionary. Then it went to black people and was used negatively. Now it's a regular word. Okay? The word nigga came from them taking it from like kings and queens like Niger or wherever, and then they took it, they changed it, made it bad, and now it's a word of endearment. Like, it's a word.
So how do you feel about black people using the word nigga? Because we use it a lot.
I don't care.
I
Honestly, I don't care.
In all honesty, I feel as if I don't care, but it's like something I think that could be like with the word nigga. Don't get me wrong, we do use it a lot, but it's certain, like, people say it's certain ways of how you say it.
For sure.
And it means different things.
Yeah.
Like how there's a difference between saying nigga or nigger. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like the difference. You say, like, if someone comes up to you, think about, like, one of the homies be like, "What up, my nigga?" You be like, "Oh, that's the homie." Like, cool.
Yeah.
But if he fucks around and be like, randomly out of nowhere, "You're a nigger," you're gonna feel some type of way.
Yeah.
But which is really weird because nigga is off of the word nigger.
So how do you feel like those rules apply to people outside of our race that use the word? Like, you know, especially in LA, you gonna always hear Hispanics saying nigga. That's damn near the culture at this point.
My thing is, they can use that word all you want, right?
Yeah.
It's just when I come and I use them other words like wetback and beaner, you can't be mad. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Okay, so you're on a fire with fire.
Because it's a word.
If you use a racial slur, you can't get mad if I use
It's
one.
a word and it's funny. It's so funny, like how the word came to be. Like a white person just said, "That looks like a wetback."
Think about shit like that. That does bring humor to it. Cause like, where the fuck would that come from?
Thank you.
So you would say.
And then they saw these niggas eating beans, and that's the first word they came up with. Beaner. And y'all really took a
We gotta cut this out.
That's just grimy. They saw you eating beans and just put an E on it.
You can't say this. So you would say you're against it. You would say So would you say you're against Hispanics using the word nigga? Because you don't care.
She literally said.
So, but I'm saying, like, they can use.
If I feel like you like overdoing the word, like
Yeah.
you're overly using a word, like just that period. When people say like too much, it irritates me. When people like stutter on the same word too much, it irritates me. So if I feel like you're overusing the word because you feel like you're privileged and can use the word, like, I'ma just, please stop.
The only thing gets me about Hispanics using niggas is they don't like niggas. Like, that's the coldest part. Like, maybe it's just where I'm at. Maybe it's just where I'm at, but it's like we have so many cholos or just even regular Hispanics that just will go to school with us that don't like black people or kind of just were raised in a culture where they don't get along with black people naturally. And that's fine. Exactly, beef, want to start fights. But it's like you go around their groups, nigga. Like, y'all saying nigga more than I say nigga, and I'm black. But it's like y'all don't like us. Like, you like everything that come with you like the whole culture, but you hate black people. Like, you will listen to the music. Like, that one thing that blows me that they always do more than us is listen to old hip hop. You will never go to a group of young black kids and get in the car with them and they bumping Biggie and Tupac and all that and NWA, but you get in it with them, they bumping all that. But hate black people. How you love the culture so much, but hate black people? How does that make sense?
I guess it just comes down to like having a lot of bad experiences with a certain
For sure.
Like when you live around a bunch of black people, like I know there was definitely Mexicans getting bullied by blacks too.
For sure, yeah, for sure.
In like elementary school and lower down, because you know, black people getting raised with their cousins and brothers and stuff, they're rough.
Yeah.
And so black people, they rough, they like to roast, bully kids, you know what I'm saying? It just happens that way. There was a lot of black girls fighting a lot of Mexicans too. It just, it's like a little like cultural difference, I think is what it is mostly. Like y'all don't really understand each other's lifestyle and cultures, so when y'all get around each other, y'all clash.
But that's the craziest part though. Our cultures are so similar and people don't even realize that. Like, I've always noticed when like people would talk about their home upbringing and how their parents were with them, it's a lot of the same exact shit we went through with a small twist to it because, you know, they are a different culture. But it's a lot of the same shit we went through, but it's like they still can't get along. You feel me? Like, honestly, growing up in this area, it's a majority Hispanic area. So more than like black bullying Hispanic is more so the opposite way. You feel me? Bullying black. So it's just like, and it's a natural thing. You feel me? So I don't kind of give it credit to them.
I've seen a bunch of when I went.
For sure. Yeah.
Vice versa.
I've seen it both. I've seen it both ways, but I don't want to really give it an excuse of like they had bad experience with people or on either side.
That's the only reason, though.
I don't think so but you gotta think about it. How is a little elementary kid like doesn't know has literally acknowledged I've never seen a black person before, or acknowledges like I'm not accustomed to seeing black people. How could they possibly have hatred for you from a past tense situation when they they've never experienced it?
Well, shit like that is how it could be based on their bringing up, because it could be the same. Their parents could not, like, their whole parents could have a problem with black people, and they rub that energy off on their kid, and so that caused their kid to be like, oh, if my family's beefing with them, and
then I gotta not like them,
then I can't like them.
Yeah.
But even if it's not that, it's your parents saying, oh, I don't really mess with them. They don't come around the family a lot. Your family's not really friends with them, and then you go to school and you just see them in a negative light. You're not gonna really befriend them, and then the older you get, you find people who feel the same way, and then y'all bond off that. And yeah, we might have similarities, but first of all, there's a language barrier.
That's about it. But honestly, at this point, it ain't
even
even much of a language barrier no more.
Because Mexicans, like their punishments are similar but different. Like I've never heard of Mexican children or Latino children, Hispanics, none of them. I've never heard them talk about some. Yeah, I'm disowning my family because they beat me. But you hear
you hear black people because we've been. I feel like us, like we more like I don't know the word. Yeah, susceptible to like everything else around like social media, around listening to people in school, and with them, I feel like they're a lot more traditional. So I'll say that we're less traditional. We're less traditional in a sense. So they'll fall in line with their traditions from way back then. With us, like I said, we won't even listen to hip hop from the 90s, let alone follow the same rules that they was following in the 90s. So you feel me? That is the difference.
Don't forget that black people don't even show loyalty within their own community.
Exactly, for sure, yeah.
Not every black person gives back.
Not even that. It's like you'll see groups of black people together and they don't really last that long. I remember being in high school and it was like they were all
our crew,
one day, and then the next day one of them is beefing, so the rest of them split up and then they start beefing. But it's like you see Mexicans, Armenians,
and that's why I always admire a lot of other races, bro, over ours, because like they just know how to unify just over the fact that they're the same race. Like Mexicans get along just because they're all Mexicans. Hispanics get along because they're all Hispanic. Like, but black people will beef because there's another. Like, I can see another race somewhere and say what's up and be cool. But it's like, yeah, a lot of times I see a black person, I can say what's up. But then you get that like every few times out of 10, you're gonna see the black guy. He just gonna mad dog you because he instantly see you as a threat. And it's like, why are we a threat to each other? Why can't we just be cool?
If we see each other as a threat, what makes us want the respect from others? Like for them not to see us as a threat. You know what I'm saying? We're scared of each other.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be scared of us?
I feel that.
Even if it's like I said, it's always situational. So even if people haven't had all their bad experiences, even if people just from the outside looking in, you don't really see people unified. And if you do, it's over the worst shit, like robbing, murder, rape, like beating people up, banging. Like it's always something negative that brings black people together. So it's like I wouldn't want that shit either. I want to be with family type love. I want that family shit where you're not gonna try to put me in danger, but if shit go down, I got your back. You're not gonna intentionally call me because you did something to intentionally get me into this problem, but because you really need my help.
But I feel like that's just because like black people are really hyper aggressive.
I'm gonna say this though, because which is I feel as if this is sad because like in the prison system, I don't know if you would have noticed it, but it's like
it's a racial divide.
Yeah, it's basically like a racial segregation between all races. So I feel as if like it's sad that sometimes say there's a black person, two black people, right? One's a blood, one's a crip, but the only time that they would really be cool for a cool little moment
is in prison.
Is inside prison.
Yeah, they talk about that all the time.
If there's like a race, like if they, because at the end of the day, it don't matter where you bang, like what you bang is your skin color.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, end there. So there's gonna be a group of black people, a group of Mexicans, a group of whites that all don't fuck with each other.
Yeah.
But then again, it's also good because they use their common ground to also combine as well.
Yeah.
Because just how I said, it's the group of blacks, Mexicans, and whites.
Yeah.
If the group of Mexicans and the group of whites are into it, more than likely the group of white people that's inside the prison are like the Aryan Brotherhood, like nations and shit like that. So they already have something against black people or anybody that's not really white. So the only time you might, and I'm saying might because I don't know if this will happen, but you might see a group of Mexicans and a group of black people working together is if it's against that group of whites because they have that one common enemy. Yeah.
Well, I've never been to prison, so I don't know if that's how that goes. But I do know what you mean because it's they do like everything is racially divided as far.
It's also like that.
That's what I'm saying.
In schools as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, and that's the problem. Like, even when I was in school and there would be a lot of like race wars going on, even with that happening, we would still have drama within each other. And it's not like not even just drama of just within each other. It'll be publicized. Like everyone in the school knows there's two black kids beefing. They know they want to fight after school and they getting into it. Right. But it's like even if they do got an issue over there, like they hang out, Hispanics hang out together and they do their thing. You'll never know that. You feel me? You'll never know they got their issues or whatever they may got going on. But it's always clashing heads. But it's like I don't know. That's one thing I never liked about black people.
And
like,
don't get me wrong, everybody fights.
Yeah.
White people fight, Mexicans, Hispanics.
Exactly. Everybody fights.
Black, everybody fights. But it's like when you look at the majority,
it's
you look
black
at the bigger picture. You out looking in. It's like black people be fighting over another person being black.
Like, bro, literally, that's like I feel like we got a lot of like flaws in our culture. Like, it's crazy because it'll literally be that we'll literally tell another black person you're too black. You're too black. Like that's not even a light skin. A dark skin will tell another dark skin. You're so black. Like that's crazy.
And
like
it's like when I see like the Mexican girls fighting, it's because like over
a dude or something stupid.
But
it's
like it's not about that. It's about like a respect. Like, you disrespected me. I disrespected you.
Like
with black people, it's like nigga, you're black.
Nah, I feel like, but that it's always disrespect though, because black people have a problem with taking disrespect from everything, even slight examples of disrespect, and taking it too far. Like that's why I said I feel like we're hyper aggressive.
You wear a fucking color outside. This nigga like, oh, he not wearing the right one.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
But you got to understand, they feel like they feel like you're
disrespecting them.
you're in my area and you got this on. You need to.
Nigga,
It is stupid, but that's what it is. It's stupid. Yeah.
All that shit is still
I'm
owned
just-
by the white man
But
at the end of the day.
at the end of the day,
This
every
shit's owned by the banks.
they're
Yeah.
fighting over ground
oh me.
that they
The
do
government
not
owns.
own. They're like,
100%.
this is mine, this is 50s. If they wanted to come and change the signs right now and
They
make
would,
it,
yeah,
they
it's
could
70.
make it Valley Gardens, what the fuck you gonna do then? It's
They
not
could
gonna
change
fly.
the street to your enemy hood street
They
and
do.
swap them,
Right.
and now y'all gotta bang. Now y'all gotta bang something else.
You can't do
But-
that.
Y'all not all
but
gonna move
honestly-
out. Y'all not gonna all reach out and be like, hey,
But honestly, I feel
let me
like,
take over your lease and let's switch. Like,
you feel me?
He's not doing that.
But it's like I feel like it all comes down to like disrespect. Gangbanging is such a deep topic
It's so
because
stupid.
it is really dumb, but it's like it's so deep rooted. I feel like at this
I
point,
don't care.
there's
at,
no.
no. At this point, it's so stupid. I
Mm.
can see if you keeping like Bloods, oh I'm a Blood, oh I'm a Crip, you know, just to have some culture within you because we have gotten separated from our past culture. We ain't really
Right.
got that much, so we did grow with that over
Yeah.
time, over centuries. We did grow with that because we had to start from nothing when they brought us all here.
Yeah.
But over time, if you consistently just take that gangbanging shit to cause harms to others within your community or outside your community, I
And
find
there
it
you go.
stupid. If you keep it as a reason to bring your people together, cool.
But
okay?
look,
That's
but look,
it.
no, hold on. Let me. But look, you say that over time. Over time, it doesn't get easier. Over time, it gets worse because you got to understand it may start somewhere, then it turns into something. There's a lack of opportunity. There's a lack of money, and there's only opportunities to take from the next. Okay, boom. Now you got to take. You got to take. Look, you got to take.
2020.
But look, bro. Okay, now it's 2023. But look, there's been years of this going on.
That's
You
what I'm
can't.
saying.
You can't
I
wipe off years
understand.
of actions.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I understand where it came from.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a lot of
No,
hostility.
forget where it came from. Look where it's at now and look at the actions that led up to it. Not the beginning. You're missing the middle section.
What about it?
There's a whole middle section of deaths on both sides of any situation. Any beef, there's death on both sides. How you, okay, this might not be the best question to ask you. How would you feel if somebody killed one of your family members? How would you want to go retaliate?
The way you
Because
shot at me.
I know it's not the best question for you.
It's
But
crazy,
how
but
would
okay,
90% of people
because
feel?
I get it.
You feel me?
But I'm not going to beef with you because you killed my great uncle and I didn't even know him.
Forget the great uncle. How about your cousin and your uncle that
But
just
that's
is
what
right
I'm
here?
saying. They still make that valid to
Yeah.
keep that cycle going. Eventually, that cycle can stop.
But it can. But how can it if it keeps happening? Like it's like that's why I never. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. I don't think people should be gangbanging. But when every situation, you gotta have some type of moment where you can look at it from the other side, and that's all it is. It's just me looking at,
I realize that somebody hurt your family and you want that revenge.
and it's just gonna
but
be an
at the same
endless.
time, recognize your accountability in that you decided to put yourself in that position. I'm not going, me as a woman, I'm not going to walk down Sepulveda in a skimpy ass dress and expect the nigga not to grab me up. That's accountability on my half. Yes, he's wrong for doing so, but I also had a play in that.
So you
You're
feel as
putting
if-
a play on your life and your
Everything.
For
homie's
sure.
life.
So the situations are 50-50, basically.
Yes.
I can get with
I'm
it.
not saying
Like,
I wasn't saying I was disagreeing with you.
like I
agree.
said, but then again, it get even deeper because I'm using that example, but that's only one example. And a lot of people say, again, I'm not a part of it, so I don't know. But a lot of people that are a part of what's going on in gangbanging situations, they say a lot of it now is less of that and real reasons behind gangbanging, and it's a lot more of just people think it's cool now. People want to do it because
I
it
know
look
because
fun.
I
You feel
know
me?
people who really like, oh yeah, I'm blood, I'm Crip, but they're families.
Yeah.
Like they're little families, so they come together on that.
On that,
and
yeah.
that's where I find it okay. When black people come together and
It's
they're
always
like,
some
"Man,
negative
this my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? This is love right here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go
So-
kill some other people's family, but they're not my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This my family.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
how like I know there's certain people like Latino people and then Mexican people. They don't really fuck with each other because they got differences.
Like
cultural
different types
differences.
of Hispanic.
Black
Yeah.
people made Bloods and Crips their cultural difference.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got nothing else to back off.
And then the coldest part is it's the
The
same
thing
exact
is-
culture with a different name.
Exactly.
But we don't even need to
Yeah,
get
and
into
then-
all that.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
it would be the same as like somebody being Nigerian and then somebody being from Africa.
That's
Like,
what gang
it's-
banging
you're
always.
black,
That's what that
there's
shit
a
always blew me.
difference.
Like
Well,
y'all beefing, not only is it y'all are like literally in the same city,
Same
y'all are
hood.
two blocks away from each other,
I'm gonna say this.
and y'all hate each
Y'all go
other.
to the
In
same
my
liquor
opinion-
stores.
Y'all hate each other
In my
with a
opinion,
passion.
This is why.
Y'all are the same
This is
people.
why gangbang is stupid as well.
Because like
That's
you
why gang niggas.
No bullshit.
Nah,
no
that's just
bullshit.
it.
Because look, even like how you said, it's literally gangbanging started to. It wasn't nothing
It was to
negative,
protect,
actually.
yeah.
It was actually to protect the communities. So the communities that were
Mostly populated by black people at that time.
Yeah,
So, but with you guys beefing with us beefing within of our race,
yeah.
we're diminishing.
It defeats the whole
we're
purpose, yeah.
We're defeating the purpose.
It's the whole point.
Of gangbanging of why it started.
Yeah,
Because you did it to protect our black people as a community.
And it's so funny because they were
But-
protecting from at the time what the true enemy was, and I feel like
was the
is
government.
it's racism. Not like just LAPD was running wild back then, like just being oppressed, and
They
it's like
wanted to have family.
and then at the end of the day, y'all end up flipping it on the head because it's like in
at the end of the
y'all doing that now it's like now they have an excuse for poverty to be pushed in your areas. Now there's no opportunities for nothing. So now y'all have to, you feel me? Now y'all have to do shit, and it's like it's just a fucked up system because it's like
They took it and they flipped it and made it terrible, bad. Something it didn't need to be.
It
Because
didn't.
we were already viewed. It's crazy how we were
Exactly.
already viewed as a threat.
As
and
already.
Y'all just took
Added on to
that moment to come
And
together
that's-
and be family.
And that's
just
the
made
one
it a
thing
threat
I know
again.
being black, especially a black man, bro, like one thing you'll always hear is don't act like a nigga. Like, you feel me? They see you as one thing already. Don't act like what they see you as. It's like I walk in somewhere, like even my brother told me, like, because I'll do a delivery service and say I'm trying to get into a building. And I'll just have groceries in my hand and I'm trying to get in a building. Older white women or older Asian women, middle-aged white women, like any of that, they're not going to let me in just off a rip. Because even if I got the groceries in my hand, they're going to look at me as a threat. So it's like in the moment, it's like, damn, they see me as this. I fucking around. I like might as well act like it. But it's like, you can't act like that. You feel me? Exactly.
Under that pressure.
Exactly. And that's
the society. Like the society has their eyes.
Yeah.
Has pictures of you painted in a certain
Exactly.
way, but you have to try your
so
best.
do you think that plays a role in, like I said, why black people are either viewed as hyper aggressive? And I feel like being around a lot of black people, they definitely are
100%.
hyper aggressive. I feel like that might play a big role
It
in it.
does because look, if you think about it, all right, so boom, like how you said at the grocery store, like with the
Grocery
delivery
shit,
and shit. How you had the bags in your hand, but even though they wouldn't let you in, just off your skin tone, you're like, damn, fuck. Since they don't want to let me in, I'm trying to be cool, cordial.
Exactly.
Now I gotta.
That should make you want to turn up.
Act like really turn up.
Yeah,
be
exactly.
aggressive and shit. But you really don't. Like,
You don't.
it's certain ways
Because
how you handle
gotta
certain
realize
situations.
that don't get you nowhere.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
Exactly.
It gets you further back. It makes you.
Any race,
Exactly.
any situation, any gender, like that gets you nowhere.
But honestly, I feel like I'm not gonna say I feel like black people do it the most, but black people get the most negative light for it. Cause you'll see a lot of situations where it's like you'll go out somewhere and then like something to happen and you'll tweak out. But it's like put a black person in a lot of those situations. I feel like it's a whole different light.
You wanna know what? Why like black people have like that spotlight on them in those situations? Because that's exactly how they wanted you to act.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly how they want you. They want you to react this way.
So here's where I wanted to get. Is there a point where we gotta look at the system rather than the people falling under the system?
No, you gotta look at yourself.
Every time?
I say
You're the
not
only
every
one,
time.
You're the only one that can change. You can't change other people's views. I don't know why
I feel
people
that.
try so hard.
Not
Like,
every time.
I'm not gonna go outside and be like, oh, I hope these people don't see me as a hoe. Oh, I hope people don't see me as somebody they could snatch up and take and sex sell. No, I'm just thinking I'm gonna go through my day. Something come up, I'm gonna handle it the way I handle it because at the end of the day, I don't care how people I don't know view me. I really don't care. Because I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep. I'm not going to hell based off of how you view me. If you're blocking my opportunities and my situations, I'm going to find a way around it because there's always going to be blocks in the road, whether it be a person or an inanimate object. I'm going to find a way to
Nah, for sure. Exactly. You can always get around it.
There's so many people on this planet, and to expect that you're not going to get in any type of opposing problem with a person is ridiculous.
Yeah, to not expect to be on this earth and not expect that, hey, there's somebody out there who doesn't like me, and I'm not gonna have to deal with that.
Not even
No, but
about
no.
liking you. but
Yes,
it's just-
true. Liking me wasn't the right word to say, but it's like they don't agree with the things I do. They're gonna always have something to say negatively against me.
Not even.
At the end of the day, though, but with that being said, it's your responsibility on how you react to that situation.
Like somebody could just be waiting for a day to have an ego boost. Like somebody not letting him in the door. She probably felt all big and bad because she blocked him from his opportunity. And I know me personally, I've been waiting for the day I meet a Karen. I don't know, it just gets my hopes up. I don't know, it just seems like it would be fun.
You're not the only
You
one.
know what I'm saying? So it's like
with a Karen.
people have those encounters that they be ready for, that they think like, oh, what would I do in the back of my head? Or they just have that little power strong little ego boost, like, oh, this is my apartment, I pay for it. It don't even have to be about his skin color.
Right.
It could just be about the fact that I've never seen him before. He looks suspect.
But why
no.
does he look suspect if he just has?
I don't know. You never know. It could be because he's a bigger man. If it was a scrawny black dude, she probably wouldn't care with some glasses on. She might have not gave a damn. But
My brother also said that.
he
Yeah,
has dreads,
that's exactly
big,
that's exactly
and
what my brother
black.
said. He's like, bro, you big, you got dreads now, like it's big. And I'm like, I've definitely seen it. I've seen a lot more of that. Like people have a lot more assumptions, and I fuck with that. And that's like a big picture thing because a lot of people will blame the system of why black people are in the situations they in, like as much poverty as we're in, as much violence as we cause. Not like to say we're the only cause of violence, obviously we're not, but as much as we do cause.
But to our own people.
Exactly. That's the bigger point, like to
We
our
hurt
own
each
point.
other while
The
we
most
hurt others.
than others, you feel me?
I have a question
And a
for
lot,
both of y'all.
yeah.
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you.
You good,
But like, do you feel as if a big problem? Because I'm gonna speak within our race, because I'm young black, so I could. You feel me? Do you feel as if a big problem within our race of being black is that we don't know how to accept constructive criticism?
I think it's an accountability thing for
No,
sure.
that
Definitely
it's,
is.
it's an accountability as well. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
But don't you also think it has something to like constructive criticism?
I feel that. I feel like a lot of us,
'Cause
and
not all of us
you
can
know
take
what
it.
you know what it is though. I hate it too though. I hate when people that aren't understanding what it is to be black, aren't never experienced any of it,
So basically
are never.
on the outside looking in.
Yeah, don't be on the outside looking in and just be
With the
there to criticize. Like I hate when it's just all you have to say is bad things and no constructive. Like you're just
you're not
Okay,
I
so
hate
so
that.
you hate when it's
Like you're not applying
you hate when
any
they
solution.
when they try to say it's constructive criticism, but without
It's not even.
constructive
They don't even be
it's
trying. I
just
feel like.
criticism.
I feel like a lot of the time they don't even try. They just sit there and they'll say, "Y'all do this, y'all do that, y'all do this, y'all do that. Let's pull up statistics. Let's pull up this, bro." Okay, we know. Like we
Right.
know. We know what's happening right here. Do you have help? Like,
Right.
do you have?
Do
Do
you
you
have
have
any
help?
way that's
Like
gonna help us fix
you
this
got a
solution?
solution? Because like
That's
I
what
understand.
we're
I understand not all of them are trying, but some are trying.
Right.
But like you're just on the outside looking in saying the obvious. Okay, we know that's happening, but what are you any help, bro? Like you gonna come build something here, you gonna build a school, you gonna put some money into the community, like you ain't got no type of help to offer, but you got the most shit to talk. I hate that,
I
bro.
know, I hate that
shit
shit,
with
I
a
ain't gonna
passion.
lie.
It boils my blood when I see that shit.
Because if you're gonna put your input on something,
Yeah.
at least have
A solution, bro.
something else
Yeah.
that comes with your input to where you can help fix it.
Yeah.
Because if you can't just fix it and you're just gonna talk about it,
Yeah.
then what's the point of you saying?
And don't get me
anything
wrong,
at the
y'all
end of
can
the day?
say anybody can say whatever the fuck they want, but just
100%.
don't paint yourself as this like high and mighty person. Like I don't know. I think is it Ben Shapiro that be doing that shit? I think it is. It's one of them. It's a man. It's a white man, and it's not to the race of white men, but just a white man that gets on. He's like a political white man, and he just does a lot of press conferences and a lot of talks in front of large audiences, and he just talks about black people, and he'll have full conversations about everything that's happening in black communities and what they're doing and how bad it is and how negative everything is. And it's like not only have you never been there to see any of the positive, all you're doing is reading stats on Google, bro. You're sitting here talking about human beings like they're a number, and you're talking about everything they do, and you have no solutions.
Even then, so that's because basically it's someone talking negatively about something when they have
like you said, they haven't been through it. They
I
don't.
disagree.
What do you mean?
I disagree. I don't think he's all negative. He does bring to light a lot of the hypocrisy. I think that's mostly what he does. It's not more negativity that he's on. He's like,
More
this is
hypocritical?
what y'all do, and then this is what y'all say, and then this is how y'all act. You know?
And you know,
And then he's
yeah,
he's
I agree.
connecting the dots for us. And it's not like he can tell black people what to do,
Yeah.
but he can point out, this is what you're doing, this is what you're saying, and this is how you're acting. This is the full circle that y'all go in, and this is
Yeah.
why.
And
So
I
you
feel like I know where you're going with it because it's like,
he'll state like y'all need fathers in
Yeah.
your households, and you're not doing that, right? But he
Mhm.
can't just go out here and be like, keep your families together.
and you know
or
what,
else
bro?
your kids
And
are gonna come out like this,
See,
and that.
that's the part I can't stand, bro. So I know what you're talking about. He'll specifically say like, oh, y'all always screaming Black Lives Matter, but y'all the main ones killing each other. And it's like, all right, bro, fact, I get it. Do you have a solution though? If you don't got a solution, don't sit up here and say, oh, well, this percentage of black people is killing this percentage of black people.
But then again,
Don't say Black Lives Matter because y'all killing each other, but understand the people in the street screaming Black Lives Matter ain't that percentage of black people. So who are you talking to? Which one?
So I get what you're saying.
Which group
I
are
get
you
what you're
talking to?
saying. So
No, it's less that he's talking about them, but he's like, you're making that everybody else's problem and
Yeah.
not yours. Like your group of people.
Not that, but that's what I'm saying. When they're in the street screaming Black Lives Matter, they
They're
ain't talking.
about whites.
They're not. Yeah, they're talking about the specific
They're
issue at
talking
hand.
about black people
So,
are
but-
talking about white people. That's what I'm saying.
But why
He's
do
like, this is what
they're talking?
this is
No,
what
they're
y'all
talking.
saying,
They're
this
talking
is
about
what y'all
people.
doing, and this is how y'all acting.
They're talking about people killing them, not white people. They're not
No,
saying
they're
Black Lives.
specifically whites because
That-
George Floyd. First of all, George Floyd started the whole movement. Was
So-
actually
Not the that not Black Lives Matter been started. What do you mean? That didn't start in COVID.
that shit started.
That was George. Yeah, it was a big thing. That was the biggest, most recent one. But that,
It-
yeah,
I'm saying that's when
it was
it
a long
started.
time
Black
ago.
Panthers,
That's
in all
when
honesty.
it hit the socials.
It's Black Lives Matter been a
I do
thing.
not remember
It-
Black Lives Matter before George.
I know because a lot
This
of
was posted
100%.
everywhere.
I
We
feel-
got murals
it
and
boost
everything.
it boosted the
I
hashtag, the
remember
following.
Breonna Taylor and George Floyd being the main faces. for
Because it was in
Black
COVID.
Lives
It was at that time. That was the biggest. But there was bigger, like he just, you know the name Rodney King? You know that name. That was way bigger than George Floyd and Breonna Taylor would have ever. But I'm
Okay,
saying
but
it was,
still, you
that's
can't
what it
say-
was. That didn't
Even
start
with
black.
the Rodney King beating,
That's a bad-
It was still rioting and looting.
That's just a
With that
bad,
being said.
that's a bad take because Black Lives Matter been bigger at different periods of time
Yeah.
than that.
The movement
That's the most
has
recent.
been bigger.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what they were. When Rodney King got beat by the police, that's what it was. It was Black Lives Matter.
And then again, that's
Stop police brutality.
And
It's
then
the
again-
same fight.
I don't.
And then
remember
again,
that
that's
at
no,
all.
I'm
Because you wasn't alive.
Black Lives Matter.
What was that
I
the?
don't remember it ever being a thing. Like
Because you wasn't
Growing
alive.
up with my mama, growing up with my aunties, you would think I would hear it within my black house.
I've heard it.
I wasn't surrounded by my father's side of the family, which is
Okay,
right. I
so
was surrounded
have
by
you-
the blacks, and
I'm sure
none
you-
of
I don't know. I think-
that's none of it.
I think that's
I'm
just-
sure
I-
you heard of the Black Panthers.
I know,
right?
but I think
Black Panther- you haven't heard of
you
the
don't know what the
Black
Black
Panther
Panthers are. Where have you been?
Right, what the fuck?
The Black Panthers is that's
Oh
how.
my
Oh
God.
my God.
Damn.
Oh,
That's it.
Whoa.
That's literally it.
I
So-
mean, it brought a lot of light to the statement you
I'm
just made.
not 100% sure about this, but I'm gonna go off of what I've heard one time. I really don't even got a source on it, but someone will correct me if I'm wrong. The Black Panthers was an organization that this is the correct part. It was a political organization, basically protecting the community and protecting from police brutality and trying to aid
You're
black
like a militia.
trying to aid black people into furthering them in the country where we're oppressed constantly. And at that time, they were oppressed constantly. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
As time went
I
on,
remember that.
as time went on, they said the Black Panthers, I think, this is where I'm not 100% sure, turned into a set of Crips at that point.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not,
I
I feel like I heard that one time.
I've heard it as well, but I don't think it's true.
I don't want to be I don't want to put too much on that because I might not be 100% right, but I've heard something about that. But what I'm saying is Black Panthers was like one of the first groups of political men that were literally fighting for what Black Lives Matter fight for. You feel me?
True.
What pisses
the Black Panthers was historically the first
yeah.
black
What,
militia.
what pisses me off about Black
But-
Lives Matter is how much anger it sparks.
100%.
Like, I
It's
hate
not-
that.
I'ma
Okay,
say-
so
okay,
back
go ahead.
then, right? You're
Yeah.
talking about the Black Panthers, right? How they were trying to protect within their community.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure black on black crime was less.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
right.
Probably, most likely.
But then, if or when it flipped into gangbanging, y'all started hurting each other,
Mhm.
which
Right.
then completely changes the movement. Because
Does it?
It does.
It does.
It does.
Not
Because
that's what-
they're not preaching Black Lives Matter to black people, which we're scared of each other the same way everybody else is. We hurt each other more.
It just like it doesn't make sense to tell a group of people fighting for one thing, hey, don't fight for that. You need to go
No,
fight for something else.
He's not
That's
saying
what you're
don't
saying.
fight for that. He's saying, how could you fight for it when another race is doing it, but not when your race is doing it?
Because at the end of
Because you don't know, because you don't see that broadcasted on white news. Like, I literally just seen the other day, 4 black men killed one black police officer woman. They just saw her, tried to rob her. She pulled out her thing because she had that shit on her, and they killed her. And then they bragged about it. And that's what I'm saying. You don't see that on widespread news. What you do see is them trying to villainize white men through that movement today. Now, I understand that races do hurt other races, right? But I mostly see them villainizing another race towards black people when we literally
I
hurt
think it's
each other
more. I think it's more so about the position because it's like if I see a gangbanger kill a gangbanger, I expect that. So why would they put that on the news? I don't expect for a police that's being paid literally from my taxes,
serve and
from my taxes
But you do realize,
to serve and
you do
protect, kill
realize
somebody.
That the people that they put in the neighborhoods are people that are scared for their lives. Because you are putting people with families of opposite race, people that black people already off rip see as the opposition. If you're white, you're off rip seen as somebody that is a threat. So they're going to try to threaten you first. I'm not trying to give these people no excuses.
There isn't one.
There is no excuses. You shouldn't kill nobody, but
At all.
vice versa. Okay? If I know for a fact that you're outside and you're hurting women, when I come around you, I'm finna be scared of you. Okay? And push come to shove, I'm gonna kill you first to protect myself.
Okay.
You're putting
So I get what you're saying.
you're putting minority people, I mean not minority, you're putting white people in minority
It's not.
in minority neighborhoods
It's
where
n-
there's high violence.
Look,
And
let
they
me tell you
hurt
this.
people.
Let me tell you this, bro. If you're taking a job, they tell you what the job description is.
Right.
They tell you what the risk of the job is. Do not take that job if you're out there gonna be scared. I don't care if it's a high risk situation or whatever, bro. You
would have
chose
no
this,
police.
but you chose
You
this.
would have no police.
You
think- you
okay?
think people-
Nigga, don't be like
so
what?
Then when the black
That's
neighborhoods have no policing, then what?
And what-
Because you're acting like all police
What
officers.
that's
don't
not
wanna be
that's
police officers.
not what I'm
They're not always
saying. That's what I'm
scared.
saying. There is a exactly not.
how you said
But
that.
look,
Them
listen,
communities.
listen to what you just said. Listen,
gonna be scared
no,
of
no,
the
no, 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 no. Listen to what you just said. Do you think every single police encounter in those communities ends up in somebody dying?
No, not every.
Exactly. Majority of them don't, right?
But it's always
But
those little ones.
majority
that
of those police encounters don't end up with them dying, right? So that means that police officer handled that situation correctly and did what they were supposed to do according to their job description, right? So why are the ones that are killing them? And it's not a case of, oh, it was a shootout and they died, because when that happens, they ain't no march in the
Which
street.
situation are you referring to,
It's
though?
plenty of situations. The Breonna Taylor one was a perfect situation. They did it.
Breonna Taylor was in the house with
It-
her boyfriend.
it was
who
a-
a drug dealer.
it was
She
a-
got caught in the middle of a raid and her boyfriend
At
put
the,
out a gas.
at the
and they
end of the
shot
day,
back.
you can't. So, after a little research, you feel me? We had to take a quick research break, you know, learn a little bit more of the facts of the Breonna Taylor, you feel me? It's a fucked up case, man. I'm not sure, you know, maybe the article missed a few facts, maybe it didn't, but at the end of the day, it's a story of corruptness that led to someone's death. That's just the point.
Corruption
And that-
led to tragedy.
And that's what I be talking about, bro. Like, when people is running the streets screaming Black Lives Matter and they doing these protests, and this is one thing I want to get clear, bro, before I even move forward saying anything Black Lives Matter. When we say we stand for Black Lives Matter, when I say it, I'll speak for me personally, I'm not talking about the literal organization, because that bitch is a scammer.
That's a
Straight up. Like, the bitch that did that shit, like, I don't know if she trademarked the name. I don't know if she just created it, whatever the fuck she did. She took millions of dollars, wasn't investing none back into where she said she was finna do it, wasn't donating shit, and was buying mansions. That we know that for a fact. Documented, it's shown she was taking money that they were donating to the organization and fucking it over. So that part of it, not jacking that. If you really black and you really stand for something, you can't jack that. But the saying itself, Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm on. You feel me? You feel me? Not the whole organization, but the cause. I'm with it. That whole shit, fuck all that.
The cause and the powerful meaning behind the saying Black Lives Matter is what I represent.
You feel me? It's a whole different situation.
I can't get behind someone taking the saying of Black Lives Matter and trying to use it for a profit.
Taking advantage, taking advantage of a situation. Taking advantage of a vulnerable situation at that, and just
that, depending on, and what I'm gonna say this, in my opinion, I feel as if she capitalized off of it because of the occurrence and the things that happened within the U.S. at that time. But you gotta think about it, bro. Niggas were saying Black Lives Matter
before that shit. That's what I'm saying. I
I
stand for what it means, and that's what I mean.
Man,
When people be so against Black Lives Matter, it's like, why are you against the same? You feel me? They're in the streets marching, screaming this because of shit like that, like a corrupt.
I'm gonna say this because the one thing about that I don't really stand for, and I don't really understand. To me, if we are if us as a race or a community is protesting about something, that doesn't mean we have to break shit and loot and do all of that. Because what does that help at the end of the day? That's adding fuel to the fire of the circumstance.
Like we said before, they gonna look at us how they gonna look at us. You feel me? And we feed into
doing
it.
what they want.
If I believe the George Floyd shit and all that was supposed to be a peaceful protest, I'm all behind the peaceful protest and all the shit like that. But when it comes to breaking shit and looting and all that, I can't get behind it.
I hear it as far as peaceful in a way though. The anger needs to be directed towards the right place, not towards the businesses on the street.
Because at the end of the day,
because they didn't do nothing.
They're just small businesses.
Yeah,
Probably owned by other black people.
Exactly.
That's what.
If there's gonna be anger, is there gonna be anger being let out? The outlet doesn't need to be the business on the side of the street, the stores, and then there's people taking advantage of a vulnerable situation, stealing on Melrose and Rodale. We know people are just bad people off rip. That's just them. But let's get into the George Floyd, man. What's up? Give me your opinion. Let's see.
Did y'all not see the video?
I seen the video. Everyone's seen the video.
No, I'm talking about the full canned video. So
the beforehand and after and all that?
Yeah, before it escalated to him dying. But it started off with him going to a liquor store. The woman called the police for whatever reason she wanted to call the police for.
I think you said it was a counterfeit $20 bill or something.
Yeah, that's weird, but
insane.
I don't think that's the only reason she was
calling for a 20.
You think that's the only? I think that's the police report. That's what they had.
No, because if he gave her the $20 counterfeit, she's like, I can't take this, and he got mad.
He tweaked out. Then
there's a reason.
So yeah.
But then they caught him in his car, and then you can see clearly in the video he has stuff in his mouth. Stuff in his mouth, and there's people in the back of his car. He's sitting in the driver's seat, right? The police tell him to get out of the car. We're gonna put you in handcuffs because he was already out on probation? Because he did a lot of bad shit.
I think he was just a felon. I don't think he was on probation.
He just had that felony on his.
On his record.
He did a lot of shit.
100%.
He held a woman at gunpoint, a pregnant woman at gunpoint, and robbed her.
Right.
He been in and out of jail for years on years. So he definitely has a record. So when they say, "Oh, George Floyd," and they look him up, they already know he's one of the hostile dudes, one of the people.
They feel as if his MO is aggressiveness and hostility.
They don't even have to be aggressiveness and hostility towards the police, but they knew what he was.
No, I'm not saying towards the police. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, but they probably knew that's probably something he would do. So they were already ready to take him back to jail, but as soon as they tried to get him into the car, that's when he started to panic, like he wasn't already just in the car. What he really didn't want to do is go back to jail, and he just got done popping I don't know how many pills, so he was probably feeling all of that because he had people in the back seat, they looked stressed, and he had just got done doing something after he saw the police. In the video you could see the white pills in his mouth on his tongue, and he took them pills and they kicked in, and he was being rowdy, and so the police did something. They pressed him down and put his knee on the back of his neck, even though he most likely could breathe because he's still talking, still screaming. He could definitely breathe. Okay, it was on like back here. He's not being strangled by his trachea. You can breathe if the back of your neck is being pressed on. It's your trachea and your esophagus, so he can breathe. If you look at the autopsy report, cause of death was drugs.
No, it was a heart attack. I don't think anybody said
It
drugs.
was drugs. It was an overdose.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not gonna lie. I know for a fact I seen this. It was multiple autopsies, multiple like causes.
I seen one.
I promise you, it was multiple
I
ones.
heard people
I
say
remember
he died from suffocation.
I remember,
and I seen
yeah.
the autopsy report
No, I
say
seen
he
the
died from a drug
the
overdose.
very first one that came out was lack of oxygen. Then the next one that came out.
I thought that was the trend one because that's what everybody was saying.
Nah,
because of
that was the
video.
just the first one that came out. That was the first official one. Then later down the line, there was another one that did came out. But I feel you on that. Sometimes I feel you. Sometimes
You
it's
know, there's two official.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it was a lot of BS going on. I feel you. So sometimes it is trendy to just go with a certain story.
Exactly. But I'm saying putting his face on that movement, it was a no for me because he wasn't a good person at all.
Mm-hmm.
Breonna Taylor was innocent. Her life, yes. But George Floyd didn't necessarily need to die.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to act like the cause of his death was because the police officer had his knee on the back.
So do you think he would have died? That didn't happen.
Probably not because he would have took all the pills if the police wasn't after him.
But I'm saying, the pills and the police was.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
seen
so-
them.
So okay,
Okay.
without the actions that the police took, do you think he would have died? So say the police handled him differently.
As if they would have handled the white man.
If they would have handled them differently, handled them like
I've seen them toss around white people.
I've seen them toss around.
I've seen a police officer toss around a white woman.
They toss around a lot of
I
people.
haven't seen that.
That was,
I have.
it was
Yeah.
funny.
It happens.
She
A
tried
lot
to
of
run
they,
over black
I know it happens. Don't get me wrong. I know it happens. It's just I haven't.
all of that shit
I'm
happens.
just saying him as a person, he shouldn't have been the face of the movement.
Okay.
100%.
I feel it just
So-
based off of what his past and all that. I just feel like when people talk Black Lives Matter, people gotta realize they're not talking everything else. This is a movement strictly based off of one thing, a movement that's been around, based off the brutality of police, the corruptness of the system, and all of that, all in one movement. That's what they're fighting for. They're not fighting for the white man on TV to tell them that there's black on black crime, so y'all need to do better. No shit, Sherlock. We all know. But at the end of the day, you can't tell the masses of black people that aren't doing it to go, what? What are we supposed to do? Go beat up the minority of black people that are gangbanging and say, hey, you better fucking stop it right now. Stop killing each other. What the fuck are we supposed to do? You feel me? So it's like, stop that. Like, that's like, you just sitting there saying shit to say it.
But it's like I think majority of what they're saying is y'all started a whole movement to tell everybody that your lives matter. Now start a movement to get your kids off the streets. Start a movement and make programs that educate these black kids instead of keeping these schools, uneducational. Like a lot of teachers that go there, they're just going there to get by.
100%.
Whose fault is that? It ain't black people's fault. I'll tell you that much. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that the education system is not adequate enough to help young people lead a better life? Whose fault is that?
You know what's crazy? I learned about this in real estate. That's the crazy part.
Whose fault is
There's such thing called redlining.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept the lower income people in that area.
AKA
But that automatically means,
AKA.
So the rich people,
AKA
listen.
No,
the
say what it
people
is.
who could afford it
AKA.
had higher taxes.
AKA.
Shut up.
The Caucasians.
Higher
Okay.
back then, yes,
okay.
because racism was a thing. Yes,
Exactly.
it does come from back then, and segregation was a thing, right? But you can still get your money up today. Nobody's keeping you there. You can get your money up today. If you go to any poorer areas,
Okay.
the school isn't going to be that good.
Oh,
That doesn't mean that
what?
Your education just can't get better.
So guess what? Let me tell you this. Do you think that's changed?
What do you mean?
How much do you think that whole redlining thing has changed? Because I can tell you for a
It has-
fact,
There's going to be the poor
to
neighborhoods.
this day,
There's going to be the middle class.
you will
and there's
struggle.
going to be the rich.
You will struggle to get into a school that you're not in the district of, let alone a private school. Let's not even talk about that. Where Chaminade is ridiculous as far as the price. Like, it's out of pocket, and I was considering going there, but it's like you damn near paying to go to college, and you're paying cert per semester. And you know who's sending their kids there? People with the ability to do it. So you got to understand there's a system that's been made, and we mad at people for following the system that's been made.
But that's the thing, y'all can create a movement, y'all can create positivity in your community, whether that be taking your own personal time and being a private teacher, private tutor within your own home, or going to the library and helping out. Because you're not, it's
they
not
ain't
like
even be libraries
you're
and
not
shit.
going to start from the outside in.
I
You
feel
got to
it.
start from the inside out.
I feel it.
It's mostly just taking accountability, because the thing is, you're not going to stop what's happening unless you take movement.
There has to be something,
That's what I'm saying.
It's not going to be overnight.
Redlining is now not legal anymore. You can't do that shit no more.
No, I think
it's
still separated. But like my whole thing is because it's exactly like you just said, it's two sides. There's a side of you need to take accountability, and then there's the side of this is a system made, and the system is doing exactly what it was supposed to do.
It's not still a system in place, so
it is in a way.
System.
It is, but it's a way.
Because
at the end of look, but let me tell you this. If the system wasn't doing exactly what it was supposed to do still, they would take time to come in here and switch that system up. Every single school in LAUSD learns
Wait, what system are you talking about?
the same system that it's like understanding that when you go to a certain place in a different school in a different area, you're offered more information, I feel like.
Yes, because that's what
You're
the taxpayer, the whole world is backed off money. So if you're going to talk about anything, any system, it's the money system now.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
So
not about
that means all these rich people that could sit there and sit up there that are well off and their kids are well off and everybody's straight in their family tree, they can sit here and talk about all these people that don't have that instead of taking that money that they have and helping out. And you got all the but they sitting there, they got all the shit in the world to talk about, but they don't want to help. You gonna tell the niggas that don't got the resources. These niggas don't got the resources to help.
What gives you the impression that Ben Shapiro has the resources to help?
I'm not even, because I don't want to say Ben Shapiro because I'm not specifically on his head. I'm just saying, it's for a fact there are people that do that. It may not even be white men that do it, just white men. But I've seen some white men do it. I'm sure there's other people doing it, white women, black men, shit. It might be anything doing it. But I know they go up there and they talk from their point of view where they're in a whole different stratosphere and they have nothing to do with this, but they love to talk about it. Right. And they don't want to help and do nothing to try to switch up the situation. You feel me? And it's like, again, they don't have the resources to change that situation. If you, you start off your life.
That's when you talk about transgender.
Look, you start off your life. You start off your life in a fucked up situation, right? Yes, you may see something. You might see a doctor on Instagram. You might see a lawyer on TikTok. You might see the NFL player. You might see something that lets you know of a good life. But every time you walk out of your door, bullshit. Every single day. The city doesn't take the time to come fill the potholes in your street. The city doesn't take the time to come clean your street. The graffiti is running rampant. It's fucking nuts. Your mama, she's on Section 8. She can barely keep up with the bills every single month. Barely living check to check. You barely able to provide, like a parent is barely able to provide for their kid, let alone send them to a great school. So all you can do is go to the school down the street. Well, guess what they're doing at that school? They gang banging. They tripping on everything. All the girls is fast. They having kids. They doing drugs. Damn, you got to fall right in line. Or not, you could fuck around and be a victim to something that you're not even a part of, just being in that situation. You feel me? Yes, there's going to be the outlier that finds a way and finds a different path in the midst of chaos, but we can't put it on everybody to be an outlier in chaos when as humans, we are creatures of habit. You feel me? We naturally observe and we naturally follow suit. We follow habit. You feel me?
We have a fight or flight type of instinct.
Like we naturally go with the pack, and that's just what it is. So when you put all these people in this same situation and they go through middle school and they go through high school, all of their formidable years, doing the same shit and seeing the same shit, it's crazy as fuck for us to get mad at them when they end up doing the same shit and acting the same way they've been seeing since they was children. You feel me? Babies. You feel me? It's just what it is. And it's like, it's so crazy. You said earlier when you brought up like fathers not being in the home. They love to talk about that shit. You know Section A? You can't be on Section A with a man in the house.
Exactly.
Who the fuck
That
made
was a
Section?
plan.
Who the fuck
That
made
was a
Section A? You feel me?
So
Like that
I-
shit is
What
nuts.
What you saying that?
You get incentivized for not having a
But
father
I'm
in the
saying
home.
them grown ass moms,
Yeah.
them grown ass dads
Yeah.
could literally say, I'm not gonna do that shit, we finna have
But
two
they
incomes.
fuck all that. We can't because there's the opportunities
You can
aren't
have
there.
two
We just don't have
incomes.
enough.
See,
It's crazy as fuck. It's like why? Okay, so you say you want to help. You say you want to do anything.
I said I wanna help.
Okay. Well, they say they have shit to talk about it. But it's like, at the very least, make it okay for them to get assistance while they're together. Why is it that they have to split up?
To get
The man has to be out the
Because
house.
two incomes. They know that in order to live in this system, you need two incomes. If
But
you
we know the
if
cost
you
of living
have
is nuts.
Exactly.
We know that.
You can't have, at this point, none of us, unless we're well off, even middle class, you cannot live in a sustainable household without two incomes, which means your kid has to be outside with other people and not you. And that goes for the poor too. And they're just busting out babies knowing they can't afford it either. At some point, it is accountability because you do grow up.
I feel like it's a big mixture of both. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
It is a big mixture, okay? Because
I've had
your
this,
environment does influence your decision making. But me, I can just speak for myself, honestly. When I see something going some way and I don't like it or it don't look right, it don't feel right, if I didn't like the lifestyle I grew up in and I would have changes I would make to them, I'm not going to repeat the same cycle. And I know there's a lot of people out there that think that way. And it just comes with being capable of thinking for yourself. And if you can't, then that's on you. You can't think for yourself. You can't think for your life and not for everybody else's. You can't think. Like, that's like being a sheep in a different type of way.
No, this is exactly what it is. This is exactly what it
Like,
is.
you
It's exactly
just
being a sheep.
Falling in line again.
It's sometimes it's survival, though.
It
Sometimes
is.
you gotta fall in line.
Because out there, yeah. But I'm saying you fall in line until you find a way out. You act like you were part of the show until you get up out of there. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's a tricky line to cross, though. That's a tricky line to play. That's like on a tightrope. How you play both sides? It ain't as simple as I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna fall in suit until I can. You feel?
I'm for me.
All right.
That's like, I'm gonna go to this school. I'm gonna act in a way where I'm not gonna cause too much attention. I'm not gonna do too much, and then when it's time for me and I can actually get somewhere and go, I'm gonna go. Like, it's when you decide to put yourself out there and be like, oh, I'm this person, look at me, and then be like, I'm gonna switch it up. And then people are like, we was just looking at you, we know where you are, we know where you're going. But you know, people do dumb stuff when they're younger, people make their decisions when they're younger. It's not always easy to get out, but people do end up making it.
Nah, for sure. People do.
Having kids, knowing that the situation you're going to bring them up in isn't going to be the best is just selfish. People want change but won't raise their children in a change. They raise them in the same cycle and then they grow up with the same beliefs. Oh, I want my children to have a change, and then grow up in the same, I wanna, but never actually doing something. It's like, I know it's hard, but at some point it was hard for everybody. The people who had it now, somebody down their line had to work hard for it. And you could be that person that worked hard for it to build it up for your family. So it's like, if you don't want to, you ain't got to. That cycle just gonna keep on going.
I'm not gonna lie.
The world gonna work the way it works.
I've had that conversation so many times where it's like the same as that conversation, and I've always been on that side of like people have to take accountability. But at the same time, I get the whole systematic shit. It's a system set up for you to fail. I
have empathy, definitely.
You
Like,
feel
I
me?
have empathy for y'all. If I was in that situation, I would feel some type of way when I see that situation.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I feel bad, you know. But at the same time, what is me feeling bad for y'all?
I'm gonna do nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, at some point, you just gotta realize, what can I do? And what I could do, you can do as well. Maybe not at the same time, maybe not at the same speed, but it's not impossible. Not
It's
impossible
still
at all.
opportunity
It's
for you.
still there.
You still have the opportunity to be.
Exactly.
I get
Even
what you're
though
saying.
even though some people have more opportunity, everyone has a opportunity.
Sarah Wayne
Right.
literally didn't have nothing until she was like, well, not nothing, but she didn't make her first dress till she was 50. She didn't get famous till she was in her 50s. Jeff Bezos was till later. A lot of these men came out of garages. I mean, at least they had a garage, but it's like, you could make your story. I came out of a rap motel.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Have your own little, but it just goes to show that people could come from nothing and still make something. Like, we literally, at the beginning of human existence, we made literally something out of nothing. We made these buildings out of what? You don't even know.
Man.
Where'd it come from? We don't even know.
Shit from the earth.
That's what I'm saying.
Put
All
together.
this-
Shit put together.
All this came from what we got here. And you're
Exactly.
telling me you can't do anything about it? I don't believe you.
That's what I'll say, bro. Like at this point, I'm not for that. Like I hate that like a lot of people try to play this victim shit in 2023. Like, bro, no race is a victim to anything. Everyone has an opportunity. I will not say everyone has equal opportunity because you would be a damn fool to say that. But everyone has an opportunity. If you wake up and you breathing in the morning, nigga, you got an opportunity to choose to win that day. You got an opportunity to fuck your day off. Every single person in the world, whether you rich, poor, black, white, whatever the fuck you are, you can win or you can lose, bro. It's up to you. Some people got it harder, some people got it easier. That's just what it is. But with that being said, bro, we're going to wrap up this episode 8, man. We're going to be back again next week. Make sure y'all check out all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, at New Perspective the Pod. And now we're going to be doing clips on the YouTube, long form clips, because I know y'all niggas is not watching these full videos. Please watch the full podcast. But fuck it, man. Whoever tap in with the clips, tap in with them, man. We out of here. Let's go.